G'day Phantom fans and welcome to another one of Chronicle Chambers video reviews. My name's Dan Fraser and today we're having a bit of a look at some of the merchandise that's available from the to do with the Phantom Art Show, and particularly from the Bunker Gallery in Coffs Harbour. So that's some of the stuff we're going to be having a look at today, and let's have a look at each thing in turn. So let's start with the little freebie that you can pick up as you walk into the gallery. Just a pretty plain little third of an A4 page size flyer. Gives you a bit of information about the gallery and the show as it appears there. Nice to have, but not a big deal. This is something that you will definitely want to pick up whenever you go to the Phantom Art Show, whether it's at Coffs Harbour or anywhere else, and that is of course the catalogue that comes with the gallery at the show, and lets you know all about the sorts of things that you can see. Most of these pieces are still travelling with the show. Some of them have not now. Interesting, there's a couple of write-ups at Stick's Musings from Dick Frizzle, who's put a lot of the artwork in. Gives you the information about each piece, and if we flick to the back here, there's also a write-up from Dare Jennings, who did actually open the art show in Coffs Harbour. Alright, one point we should point out, there is a blue stamp at the back, Google search Kick Walker Phantom Art Facebook. That only started appearing in the catalogues after the Toowoomba show, so from Broken Hill on. So before that stamp was not in there, obviously. I should add, of course, that will cost you $7.50 to collect from the gallery. Let's have a look now at the two shirts that are available for sale. This one is the $40 version. It is plain white cotton with the, it's a nice soft fabric though, and it has got Reg Mombassa's Thoughtful Phantom, or Worried actually, printed on the front there. Really nice quality print. You can't feel it at all, so it's really gone into the thing and should wear quite well. This one's a medium size and isn't going to fit me and isn't going to get a lot of wear, but will look really nice by the time I fold it up and frame that, or put it in a pouch or something for display somehow. So very recognisable as Mombassa's work. Mambo is obviously fairly well known in Australia, so people will know what you're getting on about when you wear this one around. Alright, the other shirt is based on the Dick Frizzle design, and this is Mufti Day is the art piece that is this is modelled on. Really nice shirt, this one. I quite like this one. Limited edition, so you can see here I was lucky enough to be there on the first night, so I've got number 1 out of 36. It's a full sublimated shirt on the sleeves as well. The back of it is plain white, but yeah, really distinctive image, really cool. This one would set you back $70. Only quibble that you might have is that on the sleeves where it's been printed, there's a little bit of a on either sleeve, and that seems to be common across all of the shirts that I saw. There can be a little bit of a discrepancy in the printing as it went onto the sleeve. So if that's really going to bother you, then it will. But otherwise, really quite a nice shirt, I think, this one, and very comfortable to wear too. So the next thing we're looking at now is also a fabric item. This is a screen printed tea towel. Who's going to use it as a tea towel, I don't know. This was available for $65. I'm not sure if they still have any there at the Bunker Gallery. This is Peter Kingston's work, and it is signed by Peter Kingston, hand signed each one. These are screen printed onto linen, and unlike the shirts, you can feel the print. So I guess that's kind of why I would say that no one's going to be surely using this to wipe up their dirty dishes. I certainly am planning on either getting this one framed or hanging it on the wall as it is. Really vibrant colours. I'm not sure how well that's showing up in the video, but really strong colours, and hanging up on the wall really stands out. It's not an image that is everyone's favourite, but it is one that's becoming fairly iconic. Peter Kingston first created this, I think, in the 1980s, and has used it semi-regularly since to do with the show. and quite a striking image. And particularly, I know you're not supposed to see the Phantom's eye, but I particularly like the way that he's sort of sneakily looking back behind him to see what's going on. And a bit of the 5 o'clock shadow lets you know that he is a real man after all. The next item that we're looking at is a pack of postcards. Again, this is unique to the Bunker cartoon gallery. As you can see there, classic cult comic hero comes to the Bunker. Pack of 6 postcards there with a bit of information about the Bunker cartoon gallery. You can see there what's on the back of each postcard, but we don't need to try and look through that because I did get another packet that I have opened. So lots of 6 of the artwork pieces have been put onto the postcards there for us to have a look at. You know, not everyone's going to like everything, but hopefully that amongst the 6 there's certainly going to be something there that everybody likes. I do like Ian Grant's Waterfront. That's probably my favourite out of this bunch, but to each their own, I suppose. My only criticism of these postcards would probably be that this one has been produced in portrait and all the rest of them in landscape, so it makes it slightly harder. I was going to frame the lot in a, one of those photo frames where you can put 6 photos in, but not sure how it's going to look having the 6 of them in there. I'll have to just try and find a mat that covers that. Anyway, minor criticism. So just a quick insert here to show you what it looks like now that I have got the postcards framed and in the collage up on the wall. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. A couple of images you won't have seen there in the last bit of footage. Top middle is the postcard invitation from the Tweed version of the show, and at the bottom the Charles Blackman painting. The bottom middle is from the Mackay invitation. So 8 artworks from the Phantom Art Show in the one collage. You can see that ultimately I have decided that bottom left there has ended up on its side, and I do apologise to Steve Lopez, the artist of that piece, Guardian of the Eastern Dark. If he ever watches this, I do apologise that that's ended up on its side, but that's the way it's printed, and unfortunately not much I could have done with it in the end. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out, and for $10 for a pack of 6 postcards and a couple of freebies from other galleries to get those images of the Phantom Art Show up on the wall, I'm very, very happy with the way that's turned out, and I'd encourage anyone else who gets the postcards to have a crack at putting them in a collage up on the wall as well. Now, this is the piece that caused the greatest excitement, I suppose, when I put them up online on chroniclejamber.com, and that is the Phantom ring. Now, this is quite a bright, as you can see, gold ring. Very light though. It's not made of metal, it's made out of resin that has been cast. The full story is on chroniclejamber.com. These are available for sale for $25 and sold out very, very quickly. Really nice looking ring. Certainly too small to be worn realistically, but not one for wearing anyway really. It's a display ring. Looks really, really beautiful. I quite like it, and that was how it came packaged, with the purple confetti or whatever it is there in the plain cardboard box. This is the other box that was available with the band around it. That came with the silver movie rings that a lot of people would have seen. They're there for $10 and they had a heap of those. Would still have those available for sale there. I would show you that, but I gave mine to my son, who, little beggar, can't put his finger on it right now, so we're not 100% sure where it is. He's been wearing it, and I don't know, maybe some imposter has picked it up. Trader Joe. All right, so that's the ring. Hard to. Well, that's not too bad. Anyway, the photos of that are online as well for you to check out. Nice little piece. So what we have here now is the Phantom Game of Life and Death, which is also available if you go to the Coffs Harbour or Newcastle or Sydney versions of the show over the rest of this year. Now, this is a playable Snakes and Ladders game as designed by Peter Kingston. Now, the original is in the art show. It's over 1 metre square and it is a fully playable game. All of the pieces are sitting there and patrons of the art show can sit and play the game. Smaller versions have been available. There was a limited run of 20 that have well and truly sold out by now. The one that is, they came with 2 pieces. The one that is in the gift shop of Coffs Harbour and will be at Newcastle and Sydney as well, one each in each of those venues, is this deluxe version with the 10 pieces. Now, when I say this deluxe version, I should stress that this is not the deluxe version. I have a prototype that I was lucky enough to pick up from Peter early in the run. So mine, for instance, is printed on cardboard, corrugated cardboard, as you can see. So that's why it sits up in the corners and is peeling up. I need to get this framed. The one that's available at the gallery is proper buckram board printed and is, it just looks magnificent, very professional looking, a proper board game that you can play. The deluxe version also comes with the 10 figures, as I said, and I am lucky enough to have the 10 figures, so I can show those to you now. Before I do so, let's just have a look at the board game itself, or the game board I should say. And as you can see there, it's covered in figures that are Wilson McCoy panels, or some Raymore panels, or some that are copied or reinterpreted, I should say, by Peter Kingston himself. Also some by Dick Frizzle, many of which who do actually appear in the art show as well. So that one, what do you mean they won't sell any more paintings? That's certainly in the art show. Mufti Day was around here somewhere. Here we go, we've seen that a few times. Death of Susie up here as well on Square 69. Lots of really classic artwork. So let's now just have a look at the figures, the 10 figures that come with the deluxe version of the game. And we have here Queen Sala, Colonel Weeks of the Jungle Patrol, Garan, a Bandar Pygmy, a bare-breasted warrior princess, the Sultan, Hitler, and Diana. Here we have Devil, he's probably my favourite, and the Phantom as well. So really lovely piece, and something that is a fantastic addition to any Phantom collection. Very, very pricey, obviously, for the deluxe edition, the 3 that are remaining, but for those that pick them up, going to be very happy with those. And finally, it would be remiss of me not to also show you some of the prints that are available at the art show, because all of the art, well, much of the art is for sale, or was for sale at different points, but the curators have also created limited edition prints of some of the more popular artwork. So this is Dick Frizzle's Grieving Phantom, which, as many of you would know, has become emblematic of the entire art show and has become something of a symbol for them. It's certainly one of Peter Kingston's favourite pieces, and one of mine as well, which is why I made the call, made the sacrifice, made the decision that I wanted to pick this one up. I haven't had it framed yet. It's in the tube, as you can probably pick up there. For the most part, I need to get this framed and hang up on the wall when I can. The other one that I was able to get a hold of was this one, Ewan McLeod's Phantom and Devil, which is also really, I like it, I think, and I think it's, the beauty of these sorts of pieces of artwork is that you're going to be able to hang those, not necessarily in the skull cave, but around the house, and it just looks like art, not necessarily like you're feeding your Phantom habit. So looking forward to that. I really, both of these have been printed, screen printed on some really quality paper. There's some embossing on each of them. That's a silk screen print. I'm not 100% sure what the parchment is that this one's been printed on, but again, between them, really nice to have actually some of the art pieces appear in your home as well. So there you have it, fans. I hope you've enjoyed that quick little tour around the sorts of merch that is available from the Phantom Art Show. If you have the chance, when it comes to a venue near you, it's going to Newcastle later this year and then finishing up in Sydney. you should definitely get along and have a look at it. There will be, I would think, new merchandise available at each store. The shirts and the rings are something that have been unique to Coffs Harbour, but they've been so successful that I wouldn't be surprised if the curators launch something again. I know that the prints and the board game, for instance, are not cheap, but if you can pick up something like that, it is going to be absolutely magnificent addition to your collection and unique in the way that a lot of the traditional stuff just isn't. And at the very least, get yourself one of the catalogues so you can have a look through the artwork that's available there. All right, until next time, fans, happy phantoming.